Alright, hi everyone. So I've explained it in the other first video, but I'm in this car because my parents are working from home during this strange time that we're having. And these videos were all filmed before the world kind of changed on us. So there is a little bit of misinformation in the video just about me going to my college program. My college program has since been canceled. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, please enjoy this video, okay? Those are the Disney Look guidelines for that. For the most part, from what I understand, they're pretty lenient about it. Oh, the other thing is that your toes cannot be showing unless it's a peep toe, which shows no more than two toes. And then your toenail polish would need to be in line with Disney Look as well. You are now allowed to, they've extended Disney Look as well to include like one necklace or something and maybe like one bracelet. But yeah, so this will also be true of when you're working. You'll have to wear you're allowed to wear Apple Watches in certain roles, such as merchandise, safety critical roles, and food service roles are not allowed to wear Apple Watches or iDevice watches, or not iDevice watches, but like they're allowed to wear a regular watch for safety critical roles, and then food service is not allowed to wear anything on their wrist. They're not allowed to have band-aids on their wrists. They're not allowed to have anything. It's a whole lot more strict for food service, obviously, because something could like fall onto the food, which would be gross. But yeah, what else? Yeah, that's kind of it. So what happens after that is after that you're allowed into the parks, and then you'll start work pretty soon after, like usually either the next day or a couple days after at the latest. Oh, you'll start training at work. You'll meet with your trainer, they'll get you your costume, they'll go through everything with that. You'll get your shoes. You'll have the option to either buy them at Traditions or you can bring your own. If you're in quick service food, you actually get shoes for free. If you're in any other role, I believe, maybe there's like one other that gets free shoes. But for the most part, I think it's just that one. You have to pay for your shoes if you don't have that. So that's kind of the entire process of the Disney College program from start to finish. Oh, well, I guess the end of the program. So then you'll just kind of work along. If you don't like it, you can obviously quit. You can try and put in a 2 weeks notice, but be aware that if you quit, you have to be out within 24 hours if housing finds out. So if housing finds out, they're gonna have you out in 24 hours by 12 o'clock the next morning. So sometimes even less than 24 hours. So just be aware that sometimes putting in a 2 weeks notice will not be an option for you. So if you plan on self-terming, pack up your stuff as soon as possible. Additionally, you can get fired, and the same rules apply. You have to be out by 12 the next morning. This actually did happen to one of my very good friends down there. He was fired for something that his file got audited because of some thefts that were happening. He did not steal. I'm going to say this right away. He did something that he shouldn't have done, but he didn't steal or anything from the company, and he's actually been rehired from the company since. But his managers tried to protect him from it because he was trying to help a friend, but he did do something that he wasn't supposed to do, and he was fired, and he had to be out by 12 the next morning, and he had nowhere to go. It's like you just have to rent a hotel room, or you have to I can't even imagine what that would be like if he hadn't had a car. I can't even imagine what I would have done. My grandparents luckily lived pretty close by, so I probably would have just called them if they were still there. And I did have a couple of friends with cars, so I probably would have been fine getting to a hotel, but my goodness, I guess I don't even know what I would have done. I guess I would have had to have gotten an Uber and just literally sent all my stuff home, which is another reason why I'm living off-site. So it can be pretty stressful. And then you'll just kind of like live your life. You might get some like continual training. It's possible to be deployed from your location. So you'll either get sent to a different location and learn that, or you can even get a different role. So a lot of times lifeguards, if they are in a park or in a water park and that closes down, they'll get deployed to either a resort or to quick service is usually what they end up having to do. That can kind of suck. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that'll happen in the middle of your program. There'll be housing events. Those will be really, really fun. During the spring semester, there is the Starlit Splash, and during the fall, there is the like prom sort of a thing, which is super fun. Definitely recommend going to those, because again, you're paying for it. Like, you are straight up paying for it with those initiation fees or whatever they are. Yeah, and then it'll be your last kind of few weeks, last few days, and during that, it's going to be really, really sad. So you'll stop work on the last day of your program, or usually 2 days before the last day of your program, like the end date. You usually should, keyword being usually and should, get 2 days off after your program is done to pack up and get ready to go home. And those are the saddest days. So what most people will do is that first day that they're off, they will go to the parks, and then that second day they have to be out by noon of their apartments, so they will usually book their flight that day after like noon and go home. However, I decided to stay for an extra week with my friend's DVC points. Send help. And yeah, so I stayed an extra entire week after my program was done. They don't take your name out of the system automatically usually, so your park tickets still work and everything like that. And so, at least for those last couple of days or so. And so, yeah, you can just kind of do that and have fun and enjoy your, couple of days of freedom before you have to go back to your real life. So yeah, and then there is graduation, which is usually like a week before. So this is before, obviously, that you leave. And you can go there. You're not guaranteed time off for it, but you could always try and switch around, or you cannot call out and go. You cannot call out and go. You will get termed, and it will not be good. But you can go there, you get your photo with Mickey and Minnie in their graduation outfit. You can get a little certificate saying that, you completed your program or whatever. You get the cute little ears with the little tassel or whatever. And then you get those monogrammed and everything, although it is very, very busy the day that everyone gets their ears. And there's usually like 1 or 2 celebrations so that, hopefully you can get the time off, or a larger majority of people can get the time off. You're also not guaranteed time off for the Starlit Splash or for the prom. So I happened to get off work a couple of hours, maybe an hour after it started, and so I still had plenty of time to go to the Starlit Splash. Then I got food poisoning, so that was fun.